Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Okay, nice to meet you all, catch up with you all Thursday. So we are on chapter number 16, right? Once I'll start sharing the screen, I'm not on a laptop, I'm on a tablet. So whoever is raising a hand up, if Krishnamurti Prabhu is there, is he there?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, otherwise, yeah, Prabhuji is there. Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranam Prabhuji. So you select and ask them to read the translations, and only we'll not read the purport for the last verse. So we are doing today verse number
Mataji,
10.
if you want, somebody will share. Shall I request Dinesh Prabhuji to share, Mataji? He used to share in when we don't have.
That will be more nice because I'm on a tablet. Yeah, it takes little time also. So it is 1.16.10, right, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
What are we looking at? What is the chapter about? Let's begin our studies. Is Prabhuji able to display?
How Parikshit Maharaj received the age of Kali, Mataji.
Yes, perfect. Oh no, he's written, he's on phone, so it's okay. I will only display. Okay, perfect. No issues. Just take some time. Age of Kali. So we are in the Kali Yuga.
Yeah. Yesterday's class I couldn't attend, but
Mataji, you want me to share? I'm on the laptop.
It's okay now. It's already got done. Thank you so much, Mataji. Yeah.
Thank you.
Only
No
thing
problem.
is, whoever raises hand up, no, y'all accordingly y'all select that devotee, and so who's going to read this first verse? Sutta Uvacha.
yeah, I'll read.
Jangale vasat kalim pravish.
Mataji is raising her hands.
Pardon?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams.
Pranams Mataji, please can you read this? Yeah.
Sutta Uvacha Yada Parikshit Kuru Jangale Avasat Kalim Pravishtham Nija Chakravartite Nishamya Vartam Anati Priyam Tata Sarasanam Samyuga Shaundir Dade. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Who's going to read the translation, please?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sutta Goswami said, while Maharaja Parikshit was residing in the capital of Kuru Empire, the symptoms of the age of Kali began to infiltrate within the jurisdiction of his state. When he learned about this, he did not think the matter was very palatable. This did, however, give him a chance to fight. He took up his bow and arrows and prepared himself for military activities.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna
Mataji.
Mataji.
Somebody else for the purport, please.
Yes, Mataji, I shall read.
Yes, please.
Text 10. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The state administration of Maharaja Parikshit was so perfect that he was sitting in his capital peacefully. But he got the news that the symptoms of the age of Kali had already infiltrated into the jurisdiction of his state, and he did not like this news. What are the symptoms of the age of Kali? They are: number 1, illicit connection with women; 2, indulgence in meat eating; 3, intoxication; and 4, taking pleasure in gambling. The age of Kali literally means the age of quarrel, and the above mentioned 4 symptoms in human society are the root causes for all kinds of quarrel. Maharaja Parikshit heard that some of the people of the state had already taken to those symptoms, and he wanted to take immediate steps against such causes of unrest. This means that, at least up to the regime of Maharaja Parikshit, such symptoms of public life were practically unknown, and as soon as they were slightly detected, he wanted to root them out. The news was not palatable for him, but in a way it was, because Maharaja Parikshit got a chance to fight. There was no need to fight with small states because everyone was peacefully under his subordination, but the Kali Yuga miscreants gave his fighting spirit a chance for exhibition. The perfect Kshatriya king is always jubilant as soon as he gets a chance to fight, just as a sportsman is eager when there is a chance for a sporting match. It is no argument that in the age of Kali, such symptoms are predestined. If so, then why was there preparation for fighting out such symptoms? Such arguments are offered by lazy, unfortunate men. The rainy season, rain is predestined, and yet people take precautions to protect themselves. Similarly, in the age of Kali, the symptoms, as above mentioned, are sure to infiltrate into social life, but it is the duty of the state to save the citizens from the association of the agents of the age of Kali. Maharaja Parikshit wanted to punish the miscreants indulging in the symptoms of Kali and thus save the innocent citizens who were put in habit by the culture of religion. It is the duty of the king to give such protection, and Maharaja Parikshit was perfectly right when he prepared himself to fight. Thank you, Maharaja.
Thank you so much. So let's read the translation. Parikshit was residing in the capital of Kuru Empire. The symptoms of age of Kali began to infiltrate. Yes. So in this verse, we understand Srila Prabhupada has already mentioned age of Kali is age of quarrel. And many places, what else Prabhupada mentions about the age of Kali? It is the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, right? You all have heard this? Age of quarrel and hypocrisy?
Yes, Mataji.
One,
Yes, Mataji.
yes. Loka number 10, Halpa Ishaya.
So what does hypocrisy mean basically? Quarrel, we all understand. Quarrel means jagda hona, wo to it is at the slightest provocation we can see every day in our day-to-day lives. But what does hypocrisy mean again? Let us understand. Because we are in this age, we need to understand it so that we are cautious every time.
Mataji, I'm
Hypocrisy
just
means what?
guessing.
Yeah, try
like,
it.
yeah, hypocrisy
Yeah, try.
means like keeping one thing in the mind and talking something else, or backspeaking
You are
something.
trying, yeah, you're trying to be a very artificial personality. You are something else, but you try to portray something else. Yes, Mataji. So I'll give you an example. Like there was one disciple of, he had a guru, Prabhupada's grand disciple, I would say. But every day when Guru Vandana we sing this in that Shri Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chittite Koriya Kya Arna Kari Ho Mani Asha. What does that mean? I don't have to have any other desire except the instructions that have emanated from the lotus mouth of my Guru. But this person, no, when he would sing this disciple, he one day approached his superior and senior devotee and he asked him, I am feeling very guilty when I recite this because even today, though I'm initiated, though I have taken this path of bhakti, I'm chanting, I'm doing services, but I still have many material desires in my heart. So this is being open and honest. You all get me now? And that only a devotee can do. He doesn't like to mask himself and show something else because end of the day he knows there is Lord seated in my heart. He knows what is the reality. So why fake things? But yes, the outside world, this is all is happening, is the world of hypocrisy. So Prabhupada has many places in Bhagavatam also mentioned is the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. Now, what is rampant in Kali Yuga? What are we able to see currently? You all are also, every one of us is in the age of Kali. Some symptoms are already manifested now in front of our eyes. What all commonly we can see? How do we define Kali symptoms?
People are
क्या
dishonest.
क्या? Yeah, good.
Mataji,
Hmm.
the same thing we see, for regulative principles. Those are all happening. Gambling,
Yeah,
illicit.
that is very broader thing. I'm talking about the finest details. What we can see cheating, we can see corruption, we can see
Yeah.
uncleanliness, we can see violence, we can see so many bodily disturbances, diseases of the body, diseases of the mind. We see intense heat, cold, haphazard weather. This is all nature is punishing us in Kali Yuga. In other yugas, it is barely seen. Then what else we can see?
Mataji,
Lying, Mataji. Lying.
nowadays,
Pardon?
Mataji, when we were studying, we had no business of educational business, Mataji. Nowadays, it is not like that. If a person is getting 86% and another person is getting 87%, the difference is there as 8 lakhs for this person, 9 lakhs for that person as the donation. Like that.
Yeah, so
It
that's
has
what
become
I'm
business, Mataji.
many things. Yeah, Mataji, money is sweeter than honey. Many things are happening. There's so much of attraction between the sexes, and as a result, there is mad things happening, wrong things happening in this world. So actually, the newspapers are full of everything. So this chapter that is dealing, Parikshit encounters, Maharaj Parikshit is going to encounter Kali Purusha. But this is the time when Dwapar is about to end and Kali Yuga is about to begin. And today we are already here in Kali Yuga and we still have a long way to go. I mean, 4,32,000 years is the span of Kali Yuga. But already so many symptoms are visible and we feel it is really so degraded around us, But, are these the real problems? These are not the real problems. These are all ignited by Kali Purusha, all these things that we see, jagda hona, envy hona, jealousy hona, violence ho raha hai, so much wrong things that are happening without putting them in words. These are only incited and ignited by Kali Purusha. He is just standing there and laughing and watching. Wow, I did a good job, But Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Thakur Maharaj says, Kali is, it is based on the 4 pillars of irreligion. Remember one thing, Kali Yuga ka ek definition hai, it is age of irreligion. Age of irreligion. So here in this age, very badly people like to speak or hear about God. So Kali is stationed on the 4 pillars of irreligion. Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj says. We are being deceived by Kali. Kali is cheating us. Real culprit is Kali. This is what Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj says, that for everything, real culprit is Kali. Yeah. So now, already we saw in this verse and in the purport, Kali Yuga to aana hi tha. It is predestined. It is mentioned there in the verse. Why did Parikshit Maharaj have to get up, be cautioned, and symptoms have spread in my kingdom? And he's sitting in his, it's mentioned he's sitting peacefully in his palace, but his administration is so powerful, he gets all the news that Kali has infiltrated. Pravishtam, the word given in the shloka is pravishtam. It has entered. And now he wants to really get into action. Now, Parikshit Maharaj is a pure devotee of the Lord. And the pure devotee knows there will be Satyug, Dwapar will come, Treta will come, Dwapar will come, Kali Yuga has to come. It is predestined. And he even knows what are the impacts of Kali Yuga. He knows it. But the question is, why is he getting up to, subdue Kali? पता तो है उनको कि मेरे कुछ भी करने से फिर भी कलयुग तो आएगा ही. It is going to come. You cannot change. The cycle has to happen. But the beautiful example that Srila Prabhupada giving to us is of rains. Srila Prabhupada says we all in India, especially when I'm from India, you all are seated in India currently. So we know every year monsoons come. Monsoons come and sometimes no, every year they cause havoc. When we were going to schools and colleges, we would know for sure. Once it will rain such an extent, trains will stop, buses will stop, and we'll get holiday from school and college, you know. So, you know, those joys, because of the rains, we'll have holidays. So it keeps happening till date. But what does the BMC do? BMC just sits down like that. In fact, before the monsoons, our BMC gets into action. It will work on waterproofing. It will try to upgrade the drainage system. It will even work on evacuation plans if sometimes there are floods in some regions. Going to be floods because they depend on the weather forecast. So they make all these preparations beforehand. And from their side, they are doing. So this is what Srila Prabhupada is telling. Parikshit Maharaj is setting an example. He is an exemplary leader, ruler. Who knows? Kali will come. Kali's impacts also he knows. But as a leader, he wants to get into action, whatever best he can do to protect his praja from the onslaughts of Kali. That steps he wants to take. So this is why it is written initially in that shloka that it was not palatable for him. Who will be happy to see impacts of Kali in the kingdom? Any king like pure devotee like Parikshit Maharaj, grandchild of Pandavas. So he writes in that verse, it is mentioned that it is not priyam to him. It's not palatable. But at the same time, again, it is written he's happy. Why is he happy? What example Prabhupada gave? Both things are mentioned. Unpalatable, I explained.
This one.
Pardon?
Harinama, Nama Sankit.
No. He is happy. He is happy that he is happy because he's a Kshatriya and a fighting opportunity has arrived. This is what Prabhupada writes in the purport. For a Kshatriya, if any fighting opportunity arises, he is feeling happy. We know in Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna is telling to Arjuna, fight. If you lose, still you go to the heavenly kingdom. If you win, you enjoy the kingdom here on the earth, right? So for Kshatriyas, it is an opportunity. They are really waiting for such occasions. Just as Brahman, if there is a Brahmana, if the Pujari, Brahmana is there and you call him for some prayer in your house, how he comes happily to perform that puja. I still remember when in my house the death happened. So we had called one pujari for the prayers, you know. He was looking forward for it. In fact, he came happily to perform all those rituals. So just as Prabhupada has also given example of a sportsman, a cricketer or maybe some basketball or any XYZ sportsman, whichever field sports he is in. If there is a match happening and if he's chosen in that team, he's feeling so happy. We all know, right? So a sportsman feels happy. So similarly, Kshatriya also feels happy. Prabhupada is telling that, oh, now I have an opportunity to show my chivalry, my fighting skills. That is a real test of a Kshatriya. So he is not afraid. As a ruler, he is not sitting behind the curtain, oh, my army, you please tackle with this problem. No, he's jumping into it. In fact, very bravely. So the next verses, we'll see what all this is described. So now we saw that all these ages, Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, Kalyug, they have to happen. And the duration is also given in the Shastras. And these are like seasons. It's like monsoons, some don't like winters, some people like, some people don't like summers also. So just as different seasons have different characteristics, similarly, these yugas, these ages, the eras which happen, these also bring with them their features, their characteristics. What is the biggest characteristic in one word, if we say of Kali Yuga, if we have to define it, what is it? I just mentioned some time ago.
In one word, Mataji. Quarrelsome, a quarrel of hypocrisy and
quarrels.
That's okay, but godlessness. Huh?
Adharma, Mataji.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we just I said in this Kali Yuga, religion is rampant. Huh? So यही बात है. In Satya Yuga, naturally people were just worshippers of the Lord. Religion was so prominent. It's like that. I'm just mentioning the features. So now, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, one time somebody came. This NGO people had come. I don't remember which place. I had heard it in a lecture that there was a big flood in some part of India, and it was such a massive flood that the crops got damaged and destroyed. So these NGOs, they were collecting funds and money because they wanted to help out people. There was no food, etc. So they thought, Gaudiya Matha people, they have money, and let us go and take from them also some donation and charity. So when they went to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj and they told him, Maharaj, we are doing a big seva. Please contribute something for that. Maharaj said, oh, you're doing big seva. Maharaj said, you know what? You are trying to solve that problem that has risen out of trickling of the water. Trickling of the water is very insignificant thing. Maharaj is telling, on the contrary, we are trying to solve the problem of ocean of material existence, and all the jivas are drowning in that ocean of material existence. So we are doing that service. So basically, what are people in Kali Yuga doing? We are trying to do patchwork for all these things. As I said in the initial stage, beginning of the class, there are so many things that we see happening in Kali Yuga. These are not the real problems. Real problem is Kali. Kali Purush is igniting and everything is happening because of that. And how can you bring Kali Purush's impact down? Little time ago, I think Sindhu Mataji said it. Some chats are there.
Serving the Lord, Mataji.
Yeah, that's what Kali is on the pillars of irreligion. So, and Prabhupada has also mentioned the four regulative principles. हम क्यों follow करते हैं ISKCON में? क्योंकि we want to be safe from all these impacts. Any one of you can mention those four regulative principles? What are those?
No illicit,
Yes, Prabhuji.
no gambling,
Yes,
no intoxication,
yes,
no meat eating.
yes. Perfect. So by not eating meat, which aspect, which virtue is it's connected with that? Mercy aspect, right?
Yes.
Right? Because
Yes,
with
Mataji, yes.
animal killing, yeah, mercy is finished, and with illicit sex, it is cleanliness,
Cleanliness.
right?
Cleanliness.
Yes. And with gambling,
Satyam.
Cheating.
truth, yes. Because while doing gambling, we are speculating. That means you are away from the truth. And which is the fourth one? That is meat eating. हो गया क्या है बाकी?
Intoxication, tapas.
Intoxication. Yeah. So tapa. No austerity. So these are the four things we have to take care of. That's why we have four regulative principles. But then today in Kali Yuga, if you tell somebody, oh, if I have to go to ISKCON means I have to follow this. No, I am better off the way I am, So initially what we must try and make them do is chant the holy names. Have the spiritual culture. If you really want to, we can't defeat Kali in a way, but definitely to a greater extent, we can subdue it and let the impacts of Kali not impact us in a very severe manner. We can remain in our shell protected by the lotus feet and the instructions of Guru and Srila Prabhupada. So, being in spiritual culture means chanting and following the four regulative principles. So, ideally, people are scared of following four regulative principles. And so, initially, when you make them, new people chant, what happens by chanting? By chanting, what happens is your heart is purified. That inner strength is built. And then you are ready to even follow those four regulative principles in a very, with great ease. Otherwise, initially you feel it is It is very big task, Herculean task, you know. I'll tell you about myself. Like I was a tea drinker, you know, and initially I would think, ooh, how can I ever give up tea in my life? But then as you chant, as the purification happens, as by the mercy of Lord and Guru again, and the teachers in our organization, so then the power comes. What is tea today? You know, why can it? How can tea keep you away from your Lord? So this is why. And the highest thing, what is the dharma of a human? A true dharma. Bhagavatam only has given us savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti adokshaje. So yato bhakti adoksha, that is the highest dharma. So that dharma, when we follow, that spiritual culture, when we follow, we remain safer. So this is what Parikshit Maharaj is trying to do. He's trying to subdue Kali in order to keep his praja protected, safe. We'll see further what happens. Going to the next verse. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Divya
Mataji,
Mataji and Kusum Lata Mataji were raised hands.
Yeah, Prabhuji,
Mataji, do
one
you
moment.
want me to share the screen, Mataji? Shall I share the screen, Mataji?
It's okay. Now I opened it. Okay, who can read the 11th verse, Mataji? 11th and 12th we take up together because it's only talking about how Parikshit is going with his army. Yeah.
Shall I read Mataji?
Yes, please, Mataji.
Svalankratam Shamaturanga Gratham Ragendra Dvajamashritah Purat Ratho Rathaswadvipapatti Yuktaya Swasenaya Digvijayaya Nirgatah. Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So beautifully read. Thank you so much, Mataji. Translation, who's reading?
Swarupini
Hari Bol.
Mataji is raising her hand.
Yes,
Translation. Maharaj Parikshit sat on a chariot drawn by black horses. His flag was marked with the sign of a lion. Being so decorated and surrounded by charioteers, cavalry, elephants, and infantry soldiers, he left the capital to conquer in all directions. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Mataji. Somebody for the purport, which is very short.
Swarup.
Kusumlata Mataji is raising her hand.
Mataji, may I read?
Yes, please, Mataji. Kindly read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranams.
Pranam.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Maharaja Parikshit is distinguished from his grandfather Arjuna, for black horses pulled his chariot instead of white horses. He marked his flag with the mark of a lion, and his grandfather marked his with the marks of Hanumanji. A royal procession like that of Maharaja Parikshit, surrounded by well-decorated chariots, cavalry, elephants, infantry, and band not only is pleasing to the eyes, but also is a sign of a civilization that is aesthetic even on the fighting front. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So I will read this last line, which you all have to be very attentive about because we're going to emphasize more on this. A royal procession like that of Maharaj Parikshit, surrounded by well-decorated chariots, cavalry, elephants, infantry, band, not only is pleasing to the eyes, but also is a sign of civilization that is aesthetic, even on the fighting front. Keep this in mind. We go to the verse 12. We just read the verse and the what you call translation. No need of purport. Yeah. Who's reading this verse?
May I, Mataji?
Yes, please, kindly.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. Bhadrasam ketumalam cha bharatam chottaran kurun kim purushadini varshani vijitya jagruhe balim. Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Thank
Mataji.
you. Just the translation, Mataji.
Okay. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Maharaja Parikshit then conquered all parts of the earthly planet. Bhadrasva, Ketumala, Bharata, the northern Kuru, Kimpurusha, etc., and accepted tributes from their respective rulers. Thank you, Mataji.
So we are not reading the purport. Purport is about talking about each and every place Bhadrashva, then Ketu Mala. Prabhupada has given details which we can read always. So there's no point reading this whole thing. So we primarily focus now on the 11th and 12th. I'm combining together. 12th purport, you all please read it at home. It's just for information about various varshas, the planets. Prabhupada has only written about their location. Prabhupada has written that how much is the lifespan there, how the women look beautiful like angels. It's just that information given about those various islands, dvipas, varshas. And Srila Prabhupada says today the names have changed of all those islands. So yeah, talking mostly about the 11th verse where, so now Parikshit Maharaj is going with a big army. We just saw 11th verse. Cavalry, infantry, horses, elephants. Some are going on by road, on foot. Some are seated on elephants, horses. A big army is going. He himself is equipped with weapons, bow and arrow, everything. Now, do you think Parikshit Maharaj is annexing all this? The 12th verse showed he conquered all these places. In fact, towards the end, Srila Prabhupada in that purport mentions he conquered north, south, east, west. Every direction he conquered. So do we think that these king, what you can say, saintly kings, like Parikshit, Rajarishis, or wonderful devotees like him, they conquered all these regions for having a bigger kingdom? Was it the plan? What could be the plan? What is the agenda behind that? The agenda behind that is it's highlighting Maharaj Parikshit's qualities, how brave that he was. Maharaj Parikshit is not in a greed to expand his kingdom. It's no way like that. In fact, it is written in the 12th verse purport. These are already conquered even by Yudhishthir Maharaj, Arjun, some of them. But the real reason is he is an exemplary ruler. And the exemplary ruler who is in the power, what does he want to do? As I said, he wants to train, he wants to educate, create an atmosphere in his kingdom which is conducive to going back home, back to Godhead. These rulers were such rulers. They want to ensure that the praja is really directed towards going back home, back to Godhead. So suppose just like Lord Ram attacked the Sone ki Lanka, Ravan's Lanka, because Ravan was one godless personality. So he was killed. And Lord Ram didn't want to take that throne of Ayodhya. He put Vibhishan there. Second example, if we can see from the Shastra, is about Pondarak, one crazy king who said that I am real Vishnu. This was while Krishna was there on this planet. He fixed artificial two hands. He's trying to imitate. He's an imposter. So he's trying to imitate and he's telling, I am Vishnu, and Krishna had to come and really kill him. So such rulers, they don't want imposters, they don't want cheaters to be seated on the throne. Why? Because why Krishna was more keen to have Yudhishthir Maharaj on the throne of Hastinapur? Because these are those kings who are virtuous. And when the virtuous kings take over, the whole of the kingdom will be also guided towards the proper goal and the perfection of life, that is going back home, back to God. So this is the reason we see Maharaj Parikshit is ready with his army and he's going. Here we saw in the 11th verse, comparison is made between Maharaj Parikshit and Arjun. Which are the two comparisons? We read the purport. Anybody remembers?
Horses, black and white.
Both were seated on the chariot. Here was Arjun, here was Parikshit. In the past, that his grandfather. When Arjun went for the battle with the Kauravas, he was seated on the chariot with the white horses. And here Parikshit is seated on a chariot, beautiful chariot with black horses. Flag is mentioned. That is Kapidwaja. Arjun's flag is having the emblem of Hanumanji, Kapidwaja. We know from Bhagavad Gita. I think 1.20 mentions that. It is one of the symbols of victory for Pandavas, right? Over here, Mrigendra. So here is the lion, mark of lion on King Parikshit's flag on the chariot. So there is difference, obviously, right? But what is one common point between two? Any? What is the common thing between the two? Common thing, externals may be different. This
Both
chariot is
are,
different from this. Huh?
both are
parts of
following
dharma.
dharma, Mataji.
Both are?
Following
Following for
dharma.
dharma.
Okay, that's good. Both are following dharma. Both are very courageous, strong. And if वो कहते हैं ना enemy सामने आया तो उसको मार गिराना है. I am not the one who will run away and पीठ दिखा के भागना, you know. I am not that kind. So they are both very chivalrous, and they, the minute, even as I said in the previous verse is given, he felt happy. Kshatriyas look forward for such opportunities. So the spirit is the same. Externals are different. Flags are different. Horses' colors are different. But one thing common is the spirit of both these personalities. Arjun and Maharaj Parikshit is complete mood of a Kshatriya. A Kshatriya is a defender, is a protector of the Praja. And both of them really jump into the scene if there is a battle to happen. You know, they're very courageous. So from this we saw, and now Maharaj Parikshit has just got a news from his people that Kali has infiltrated. So it's said, no, nip it at the bud stage. Abhi to shuruaat hui hai. So he's kind of like thinking today it is at a epidemic stage. Might as well stop it there, subdue it there, rather than it becoming a pandemic. We all went through that pandemic. We know how it spread every corner of the world, you know. So to avoid this, at the small stage, it's just spread. It's visible in few parts. So he wanted to stop it then and there only. So that is the good thing about Maharaj Parikshit. But last line we read twice. What was important in that last line? Srila Prabhupada is writing in the purport. When Parikshit is going with his huge army of so many soldiers, elephants, and horses, and all, and it is very pleasing to the eye. Now, how is it pleasing to the eye? Who finds battlefields or when the kings are going with their army for battle pleasing? What is Srila Prabhupada trying to tell you? Battles and this warfare and all is so ghastly, right? Right? In fact, even Arjun tells Krishna, why are you making me involved in this ghastly thing? You know? Similarly, here Srila Prabhupada is trying to bring out that the army, that huge army which is going with King Parikshit, it is very graceful and it is well coordinated. Now, our teacher was giving us an example when he was explaining us this, that just as our body, if we see how well coordinated it is, all limbs. If I have to run, if you watch somebody running, a runner running, athlete running, you find it so mesmerizing, isn't it? At least I find. Because when they run, one hand is forward, one foot is forward, then we run like this, right? When we are running in full speed. So every limb is so well coordinated for that action. Similarly, when this king is going with his army for that battle, they are all so well coordinated and it looks very graceful. Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that. And now going for a war, and I'll just come to explain the word aesthetic. So for that, we have to literally understand little deeper. Now, Parikshit, already, so when you go for a war, what are the two basic things that you need to know? We already read Bhagavad Gita. So primarily, what a person should be knowing about the opposite side if he's going for a war. What do you think? Just a guess.
Strength, Mataji, enemy strength.
Yes. What else?
Strength.
Yeah, strength you told me. Okay, just as Pandavas also knew Kauravas team is more big than our team, but they were satisfied having Krishna there. So here, King Parik, whenever we go for an attack, we need to understand we have to identify the enemy, what are his weaknesses, pros and cons, क्या उसके अंदर good bad points क्या है, we need to assess that, so identity of that enemy, so which Parikshit Maharaj already knows about the symptoms of Kali, and those symptoms are already manifesting in his kingdom, so he knows identity of Kali, so that enemy identity he knows. The second most important thing is the strategy of the enemy, right or no? Which strategy will the enemy use upon me, so that I am well equipped to face him. Now, Kali is not an easy thing to tackle and handle. So, Parikshit Maharaj has to really be in one book. Srila Prabhupada's one disciple is there, His Grace Burijan Prabhuji, he's written a beautiful book, Unveiling the Lotus Feet, Unveiling his Lotus Feet. In that he writes, Kali's one business, one and only business is to not allow jivas to take shelter of the Supreme Lord. Now just imagine today my side and you all wonderful Vaishnavas are there. So currently Kali must be devising some plans. How can I pull them out from here? Because here it is defeat here. Because we are, in spite of all this, we are still sitting talking about the Supreme Lord, glories. And we are taking shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So one thing that Burijan Prabhu writes in that book is his business is to not allow anyone to take shelter of Krishna. Why? Mameva ye prapadyante maya metam taranti te. Jab, if somebody will take shelter of Krishna, he'll get out of my grip completely. Yes or no?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes. Easily that person is out of the grip of Kali, then, Maya's agent. No? So this is why Kali devises plans. How I can bring the soul out from this Krishna consciousness, or not allow him entirely to go in this spiritual satsangs or get in, they say, touch of Krishna. How can I avoid? Then another thing also it tries to do is undermining the authorities. Kali will stop you. We see, young children today or many youth today who don't want to listen to their parents. This is the beginning, these are the symptoms. So it doesn't allow you, it's only also business is to undermine the authority, just reject the authority. When Srila Prabhupada went to the West, initially, what did he see over there? All the youth, actually they were from all who are today his followers and his disciples. But when he went there, they were all young boys. They were just disobeying their parents. They were loners. They had left their homes. They just defied what their parents said. Any authority for that matter, they just didn't want to obey any rules, even of the heads of that countries. They just defied all rules and laws. So that was their situation. So this is the impact of Kali, when we don't want to be obedient and subservient to the authorities or elders or superiors. Now here I would like to even explain, authority here doesn't mean only Krishna. Let us understand, for a king, now in perspective of Parikshit Maharaj, we can see Parikshit Maharaj is a king. For a kingdom, that king is like a god. He is the representative of Lord, right? Naradeva. It is said the king is a Naradeva. He is representative of the Supreme Lord. So not only not taking the authority of the Supreme Lord, but also whom Krishna has. See, what is the role of Lord Krishna? To provide, to protect, to maintain us also, right? So, but he is also given the same other personalities are there who are doing this role on his behalf. Can anybody give me some examples? Who are doing the role of maintaining, protecting, providing on behalf of Krishna?
Demigods.
One is Guru and disciples, right? Does the Guru not protect you from Maya? Does he not help you, protect you, maintain you? He is nourishing you in spiritual knowledge, right? So one
Yes,
relation
yes.
is guru disciple. One second example is king and his praja. King is providing. The king like Parikshit Maharaj is trying to protect his praja, provide for them, maintain them. So second is king and this praja. Third is parents and children. You all are parents, right? We all are parents. Correct? Are we not
Yes.
providing for our children? Are we
Yes,
not
Mataji.
maintaining a certain way? Yeah, right? A parent takes such a wonderful care. So they are also on behalf of Krishna. Children are Krishna's children, but yes, parents are doing that role. So Naradeva, Guru is obviously a representative of, he is the Chaitya Guru. When we are ready, this Guru from the heart is manifesting in the human form, but he is he is a representative of the Supreme Lord. And parents. In fact, it is said, Tvameva Mata Pita Tvameva. So Krishna is also compared like a mother and father. So yes, in this material world, parents are also an authority. So are the children not doing that today? If those homes where this influence of Kali Yuga is so powerful that the parents. So Kali Yuga attacks the mind and makes them think, why should I accept an authority? If I accept authority, means I become subordinate. If I become subordinate, means I have to follow rules, I have to follow regulations, and I want to avoid even what else if I don't want even duties and responsibilities, right? If I am a daughter, I'm a son, and my old parents are there. Obviously, people expect you have to take responsibilities, duties. No. So Kali will tell you, Arey, why you are such a traditional person. In fact, today, nowadays, this is a fashion. We don't believe in God. Oh, you all are God believers. I don't believe. In fact, I will tell you, in my family, one elder was there. He was telling us, me and my husband, oh, why can't you all be rational, huh? Why can't you all be, you people are educated. You all are not rational. Everywhere, if daughter is scoring good marks, Krishna mercy. If will you meet us after next week? Lord willing, we will meet. So when we would say like this, no, they'll say, oh, people, my God, you people are not rational. Everywhere you want to put Krishna in the scene. So it is like that, in Kali Yuga. So people don't want duties, responsibilities, rules, regulations, because Kali Yuga is inciting them to believe into, I am boss. I am not das. मुझे
And
subordinate नहीं बन.
Mataji, they have no time also. They have no time also for
Pardon?
God. They have no
Yeah,
time also.
exactly, Mataji. That's what I'm saying. Na? If somebody is believing in God, also, I remember when I was here some years ago, we were staying in some other place. In my neighborhood, there was one very nice Mataji, and my daughter would be studying in college at that time. So when this Mataji started coming in my house, saw Krishna, and I was kind of little, I was helping her to understand Krishna consciousness. So she's saying, okay, if you are doing fine, why are you making your daughter Benji? She's telling me like that. Why are you making your daughter Benji type? She's a child of today's children should be modern. And I said, excuse me, my daughter is studying in a very good college, and my daughter is not a Benji type. It's Krishna consciousness is not that she's studying in a college, but yes, she has all the whatever our Vedic culture is supporting, that type of clothes she will wear. She will have the virtues in her heart, but she is just like your children study. My daughter also studies in one of the good colleges, and she is not Benji type the way you think. So people think like that. If we are taking shelter of God, we are very backward. We are very traditional. We are not modern. It's because Kali is so much on their mind. So Kali Yuga tells you, don't take authority. Authority लोगे तो वो superior हो गए, तुम दास बन जाओगे. You will become a servant. No, forget servant of servant. What is this nonsense? Enjoy and enjoy your life. Life is short. Just be independent. And what happens when you don't take authority? When you are independent, what happens to your life? You have anxieties. You have fears. You have disappointments. You have depressions. You are dissatisfied. Just as a child is sleeping so peacefully in the mother's arms, yes or no? Correct? So if we have elder parents in the house, we feel so comforting. Oh, they are there, no? They are there to guide us. They are there to bless us. We feel so nice if there is an authority. We feel so nice when we are under the shelter of the Supreme Lord Krishna. We know Lord is in charge of everything. We just leave at his lotus feet. But the people of this world, when they don't have authority, then they are in all these wrong depressions and all these things. But then Kali does another idea. Are you are sad? You feeling lonely? You dissatisfied? Yeah, take entertainment at the snap of your fingers. So much entertainment is available. My dear, why are you afraid? So much intoxication is available. Forget the reality if it is painful. Take to drinks, take to the cinema, take to whatever entertainment is available. So much I am giving you. And so it bewilders the mind. Chetasa, that word is there in the shloka. It bewilders your mind and you start thinking, yeah, this is the real life. This is fantastic. Why should I slog and give up my independence? I want to be independent, be enjoying. This is what is the blunder that everybody is doing. And then what happens is Kali Yuga is just packaging everything beautifully and there's no substance inside. So do you think people are going to ever be happy in this world? You may have big, big homes, you may have big, big positions, posts, you may have big, big degrees, but I'm just seeing so much in the news. People are so unhappy, they are committing suicides because the real thing is the substance is missing. Substance means you are not in connection with the Lord. The sambandha with the Lord is not there absolutely. And this is what Srila Prabhupada did. As I said, in those initial days in the West, how the West situation was there. But Srila Prabhupada understood, I have to connect them only to Krishna. He just started just connected them to Sankirtan. He just started his kartal, then he started and they started dancing and the bliss they got, that we can't get from this mundane enjoyment and entertainment. How long you can be sitting in a theater, how long you can take drinks. There's going to be a morning when you have a hangover. There's going to be a limit to what we can watch entertainment. We can't escape things. So the eternal shelter of lotus feet of the Lord should be sought, and Kali tries best that divert us, take us away from all that. So Prabhupada did one thing, he just introduced them to Hare Krishna Kirtan. After that, everything, they were the ones who were into drugs, drinks, so many illicit sex. First they took to chanting and dancing, and immediately after that purified and 4 regulative principles, everything was on track. In fact, today we look upon them as our spiritual masters. They show us how everything, when the true knowledge comes in the heart, we realize how everything comes from Krishna, is maintained by Krishna, and it finally enters Krishna. That is the reality we understand. He is the creator, maintainer, destroyer, everything he is doing. So when that dawns upon us and we understand that from the scriptures, that's when we realize that how can I dovetail everything in the service of Krishna? Now today we are using the technology in service of the Lord, in service of Srimad Bhagavatam, yes or no? Is it polluting our consciousness or it is upgrading our consciousness? It is uplifting us, right?
Yes,
So
Mataji.
Prabhupada only taught us a mic is there. I can sing any mundane nonsense song which will only excite me and create sensation. But if in that mic I'm singing the glories of the Lord, not only purifies me, whoever is listening, probably even that person is purified. You connecting that one person's soul to Lord. So everything that is available, a pen, a book, everything can be just dovetailed in the service of the Lord. I'll tell you one thing. I don't know how many of you have been to Chowpatty Temple, ISKCON Mandir. How many of you are from Mumbai? I don't know. You have seen Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir?
Yes,
Who's from
Mataji.
Mumbai?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So what is the history of that temple? So that how the acharyas have that knack and the flair to do things, dovetailing in Krishna's service. It was a 100-year-old dilapidated building, it was an orphanage. I forgot the name, some Hindu orphanage name it was. Uh, uh, some name I forgot. So in that orphanage, there were many children staying, and the building was very dilapidated. But then, small room was given to Hare Krishna people, and then slowly it became a beautiful big temple today. From what it was prior, now it has become Vaikuntha. People rush and go to see the beautiful form of Shri Shri Radha Gopinath, connect with the devotees, associate, sing, dance, eat, feast, have prasad. And then when Srila Prabhupada's disciple, who is the president and the under whose guidance this temple was built, they didn't see it as a something mundane. Prabhupada says in that purport of 11th, right? It is no more mundane. It is very pleasing to the eye and it becomes aesthetic. So I'm just explaining aesthetic in depth. So now they didn't see it as a Khatara Purana building. No, they saw it as Krishna's property. And they made it nice and they put Shri Shri Radha Gopinath installed. The devotees came, the new people came. A big, beautiful community is built today. I can't tell you the number also. It's such a big, beautiful community. And the whole of world, they appreciate this temple. And when Maharaj came and he gave the class there, he said, the world says these children, and these children also got trained who were orphanage mein rehte the na, the ones who were so-called orphans, they also became Krishna conscious and they graduated, they studied, and they became wonderful devotees who are preaching today. So Maharaj said, the world may call them orphans, but I feel they are not orphans. Because see, Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. So Nath, they are not Anath. They are Sanath, Maharaj said. Why? Because these children, here was that deities installed up and they were living below in that room. And as people called it orphanage, but Maharaj said, no. The one who has taken the shelter of the lotus feet of Shri Shri Radha Gopinath, they are Sanath. They are not Anath. So, in fact, this is how we have to see how that Purana building, dilapidated 100-year-old building got converted into a beautiful, which could be offered to Srila Prabhupada as a beautiful temple. And till date, must go and have an experience of associating with the devotees there. So, how Kali distracts us from undermining authority, I explained initially, don't take shelter of the Lord. Authority here, we have to understand the children when they should be taught from childhood that how we have to be under the shelter of parents. That is a beginning stage. Slowly they will take Guru's shelter and finally they'll take complete shelter of the Lord. So these are stages. This is how children should be nurtured. So with that, I think I covered everything. And yeah. So another thing is, beautiful thing is, Kali Yuga always tries to blow up our false ego like a balloon. Yes or no? How does it do? Any examples? Here in Kali Yuga, how everybody is so much, what I can say, bursting with so much of false ego. Yes or no? One word, if I say, hey Mata, if I say something, some rash word to you, you feel so angry. I don't want to attend only this classes ever. Yes or no? Just an example. You all are Vaishnavas. I'm just telling if two people are communicating.
Yes, Mataji, this happens.
It happens. No, two people are communicating. If by chance, by slip of tongue also, if we sometimes may use some word, it becomes a big issue. How dare you speak like this to me? How did you talk about my child like this, even small child? Huh? So that like that, blown up false ego. Huh? To that extent, our teacher was explaining to us that even in companies, sometimes they are doing servant's job only, maybe they're cleaning and everything. But the titles, Kali Yuga is such a, Kali Purush is so smart. Then they are given titles which bloats their false ego, If that person is doing cleaning, he's cleanliness executive. So when you give the title of executive, that person feels, wow, I am something, But this is what Kali Yuga is doing, you know. It is just the false ego, which is just getting bigger, fatter, 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 big like a balloon. But what did Prabhupada do? Prabhupada said, oh, if Kali Yuga can do this, it can blow a big balloon of false ego. The Yuga Avatar Prabhupada introduced us to Yuga Avatar. Who's Yuga Avatar?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes. Yes. So what did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu give us? Lord Chaitanya, what did he give us?
Something.
Harinam
Something,
Sankirtan.
Harinam Sankirtan chanting.
Hare Krishna
Fantastic,
Mahamantra.
fantastic. Yes. Golokera Premadhana Harinama Sankirtana. So this Harinam Sankirtana is imported, come directly from the spiritual world, because we are so fallen in this Kali Yuga. Mushkil se very difficult, in 24 hours, 24 minutes, maybe we can remember Krishna, but then that also Kali Yuga is trying to lure us, push us away. So some temptation will come, God knows what. So that's why this thing, Mahaprabhu, our teacher was explaining, he brings a pin. With what you can burst that balloon? You can burst the balloon with a pin, right? Right? You prick the
Yes.
pin in the balloon. Phat, it will burst. But this pin is holy name. Huh? Lord Chaitanya brought this pin of holy name to burst this balloon, to burst this false ego, get us free from this false ego. But this balloon is not that easy to prick. Huh? It has many thick layers. Huh? You need lot of strength. So to get that strength, what you have to do? 4 things. Taranadapi shunichena. You have to be humble like a blade of grass. Taroreva shahishnuna. You have to tolerant like a tree. Give respects to everyone, but expect none in return. 4 things. Amanina manadin. Only then this pin can be pricked in that balloon, and then the false ego is finished. So these and remember, Mataji's, Prabhuji's, these 4 things are not connected to false ego. Tell me, how can you be humble if you have a lot of false ego? Can you be humble? No. How can you be tolerant? Huh? It's all these 4 things are again connected to false ego only. So the more thick and the fatter false ego we have, we can't do these 4 things. So that's why we have to be, this Mahaprabhu said, wear it like a necklace in your neck, this thing. Trinadapi shunichena taroreva shahishnana amanina manadena kirtaniya sadari. Only then and then you are able to constantly and always chant holy name of the Lord. And that is the only medicine for this age of Kali. If you want to remain sheltered, protected from the onslaughts of Kali, this is the only, like a bunker. They're telling, no, when the bombs drop, you should be in a bunker. No effect of the bombs. Similarly, this is our safety tool. Lord Chaitanya came and gave us this holy name. And yeah.
Mataji,
I
you
think
very
with this,
well, Hare Krishna. You very well told
yeah,
about temptation, Mataji. When we are
yeah,
serious in Krishna consciousness, something comes up, some temptation.
yes,
But how do
that
we
is the job
identify?
of Maya.
Yeah, how do we identify the temptations which is getting us closer to Krishna, Krishna consciousness? That is okay, right?
Temptations should be for more and more greed for associating with devotees. If somebody tells you, come, no, today we will go for a market for shopping, you will say,
Yeah.
no, we will go after 9 o'clock. Now I have my class. What do you prioritize? Where is your lolium? Where is your greed? Is your greed for going to the shopping malls, or is your greed, no, I am to be like that faithful student who doesn't like to bunk classes, who wants to be already prepared for his exams forever. See, now recently CBSE board results came. I was reading, one girl got 100% marks in India. I think Nagpur or someplace. Just at morning only I was reading, and this girl who got 100% marks, she writes, out of 24 hours, 20 hours she was seriously studying, 17, 18 hours she was dedicating to studies, no tuitions, no coaching classes, and no intensive coaching in school. Just she was so focused. So this is how it has to be. It's not, Krishna consciousness is not boring or unpalatable. It's enjoyable. Is it not enjoyable when you all are hearing about glories of Lord? Huh? I mean,
Yes,
it's so
Mataji. It's
nectarine.
enjoyable and it's very vast also.
Vast, enjoyable. Then when we are chanting, we are really happy dancing for the Lord. We already danced enough for Maya. Now when we are dancing for the Lord, no, it is really satisfying our soul. The happiness touches the soul. Other happiness is just bodily, my happiness in the mind. I ate gulab jamun, maximum my mind is happy. Oh, my favorite thing. Wow. But where is that happiness? If I'm having gulab jamun plate in front of me and a phone call came, oh Mataji, this person passed away in India. Gulab jamun, where is it now? I want to eat that? No. So it's all in the mind, all these things. Either bodily, I'm happy, wearing some good clothes if somebody gave me comments. So don't have to, we have to rise above those petty happiness, of the body, of the mind. The real substance is there in Hari Katha. Real substance is in chanting. Agreed. Today we are diseased. We don't find chanting palatable. Agreed. This is my problem also. But yet we don't give up. We reprogram our consciousness. No, I have forgotten my Lord. I will continue chanting. For His pleasure, I am chanting. And I am getting certainly purified. And one day my chanting will be to such an extent deep and like a cry of a child. It will happen. This process works. Our acharyas have given us that testimony. So when it works, so these temptations, you have to see, Mataji, is this going to take me close to Krishna or it will take me away from Krishna? Like I'll give you my example. I had one time gone in a supermarket when I was living in Sharjah, and fortunately I had gone with my daughter. And my daughter got raised up from 5 years of age into Krishna consciousness. So she didn't watch any movies or anything. She was fully more in Krishna consciousness, more children of Krishna consciousness. Enjoying, happy, studied nicely. Children of her age grew up. Till today, she's going for a youth class. They have dramas. In fact, they have a lot of fun enacting spiritual dramas and everything. But I took up Krishna consciousness at the age of 30. For her, it was right age, but for me, 30 years, no, I was watching movies, this, that. So all this kachra was there in my head. But when I took up KC, I gave up everything. But one day, see how Kali and Maya, they work. One day when I went to that supermarket up to pick up some toiletries, so that supermarkets, they are very big and they had played some Hindi film, Purana movie song. And that time, I started telling my daughter automatically, because it is stored here, no? Oh, this is this movie. This I saw with this cousin of mine. And I started humming. Can you believe? My daughter just held my hand and she didn't say anything. She just brought me down. And I said, we'll go some other day. Then at home, she said, Mama, you know how you were humming and I didn't want you to. And I realized, oh, Krishna. So these things get stored in our memories. And we are trying to remove all this kachra by chanting, by associating more with the devotees. This is how it is, Mataji. After that day, I would not go on a weekend when they play music there.
Mataji, but we can remember Krishna while listening to those songs also, no, Mataji? Cinema
That's what
song.
I'm saying, that it's not that easy, Mataji.
Okay.
It's not that
Yeah,
easy.
it's
At
not
least for
easy.
me, it was
It's
not
not
at
easy,
that point of
Mataji.
time. It was not. But as Srila Prabhupada is saying here, aesthetic means when we connect everything with the Supreme Lord, it is aesthetic. So Parikshit Maharaj was that king who was so connected with the Lord. His agenda was purely to connect his praja to the Lord. So everything, even his army, when it is going, it is pleasing to the eye and everything is aesthetic. So, कहते हैं ना वो भजन है ना मधुराधिपति अखिलम मधुरम. So he is Akhila. Even Prabhupada writes, the sight of army going, that is also very pleasing and aesthetic. So I hope you all got it. So we covered our verses today. You all have to recite some verses, I believe.
Yes, Mataji.
Any queries? You want to add any points?
Mataji, I have a question.
Yes,
I
please.
missed the fourth quality that you were talking about, false ego. Something like truthfulness, respecting, and humbleness. The fourth one I missed, Mataji.
No, yeah, Mataji, humility. Taranadapi Shunichena, tolerance like a tree, humble like a straw of grass, tolerant like the tree, give respects to all,
Okay.
and expect none in return. Fourth.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much.
So we always looking for respect, no? Or he didn't smile at me. Oh, he didn't put a like on my Facebook thing, you know. These things are so common, so common. So all this, through these verses, we can understand when we look around us, how the impact of Kali is. To keep ourselves safe, we have to always take shelter of our holy names, which we can even chant while we are walking on the road, right? We can use our counters.
I do that, Mataji. My daughter says, "Are you mad? What I'm muttering?"
No, it's nice. It's perfectly okay, Mataji, because Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. Krishna said, no? Satatam. It's not that just 2 hours of the day in the morning. So always keep remembering our Supreme Lord. Be grateful to Him.
Yeah, Mataji, I got used to it in metro in Dubai. When I was traveling in metro, my lips used to move. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. All of a sudden, I get conscious. The people are watching me, and the chanting bag in my hand. Yeah, because they keep on watching you, Mataji. That it's a bit.
Yes, Mataji. That one.
I turn my face the other way and look outside. From the window.
My daughter used to carry her purse, for going to office. So she has a bus ride for 1 hour. So she used to keep her mala below the purse and she's happily chanting. Nobody understands what she's doing. People are thinking she's singing some song. It's okay.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. May I share
Thank you
this
so much.
screen?
Yeah, please.
Mataji. Mataji, you're really a true devotee, Mataji. That is, you're not even listening to the songs which are played. All that is actually an inspiration to us, Mataji.
I am also struggling, but we try to follow what our teachers are teaching us. No, if we sincerely follow the teacher, like that girl, CBSE girl, we'll get one day good grades and we'll be back home, back to Godhead.
Yes, Mataji.
With blessings of you all.
Mataji, can I say last sentence, Mataji? The word aesthetic definition, I thought it was simple aesthetic, but the definition that you gave in perspective to Krishna consciousness and true devotee, it's really, I'll never forget the definition and it will always be in my mind, Mataji. Thank you for making it so detailed, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So, devotees, those who are willing to recite, please raise your hands. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Sindhu Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Pranam. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya. Tadva Vishargo Janataga Viplavo Yasmin Prati Shlokam Abhaddhavatyapi Namani.
Sorry, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Tadva Vishargo Janataga Viplavo Yasmin Prati Shlokam Abhaddhavatyapi Namani Anantasya Yashon Kitaniyat Shrinvanti Gayanti Grihnanti Sadavaha.
Thank you, Mataji.
Only one sloka.
Yes, Mataji. Bhargavi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Tyaktva swadharmam charanambujam harir bhajan apakvota pateta to yadi yatrakva va badram abhut amushyaking kovarta apto bhajatam swadharmataha. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandavat pranams.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dhanashri Mataji, Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Shloka number 1.5.38. Iti murtya vidhanena mantramurti mama murtikam yajate yajna purusham sa samyak darshanah puman. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Divya Desai Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Anarthopamam saksha bhakti yoga modokshaje lokasya janatho vidvams chakre swatva ta samhitam. Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranams Mataji.
Pranams Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yasyam vai shruyamanayam Krishne paramapurushe bhaktir utpadyate pumsaha loka moha bhayapaha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Navakishori Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandut Pranam Mataji. Hare Krishna,
Dandut.
Hallelujah Mataji, Dandut Pranam. Bhakti Yogena Manasi Samyaka Pranihite Amale Apashyatat Purusham Purna Mayam Cha Tapadashrayam. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Thank you,
Pranam
Mataji. Pranams Mataji. Kushum Lata Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna, Kusum Lata Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji, can you hear me?
Mataji, another slok. This one gives to somebody else.
Oh, you have already read Mataji? Okay. Archana Mataji, would you like to recite? Padma Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Mataji 1518.
Yes, Prabhuji.
तस्यैव येतो प्रयतेत कोविदो न लभ्यते यद्भ्रमता उपपर्युदः तल्लभ्यते दुःखवदन्यतः सुखं कालेन सर्वत्र गभीररंहसा. हरे कृष्ण माताजी, प्रणाम्स माताजी.
Pranams Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Giridhar Gopal Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Idam hi pumsas tapasya srutasya va srutasya suktasya cha buddhi datayo avichyuta artha kavibir nirupito yad uttamasloka gunanu anuvarnanam. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Jigisha Mataji, Hare Krishna. I think they are not available. Anybody else who would like to recite?
Mataji, give Kusumlata Varma. She's waiting.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mataji,
Yes,
I can
Mataji.
recite.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranams.
Dandavat Pranams.
यया सम्मोहितो जीव आत्मनं त्रिगुणात्मकं परोऽपि मनुते अनर्थं तत्कृतं चाभिपद्यते. हरे
Thank
कृष्ण
you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. Suta Uvacha Atma Ramascha Munayo Nirgranta Abhivudukrame Kurvanti Haitukim Bhaktim Ittam Bhuta Guno Harihi. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji.
Pranams.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So very happy to be
Thank you
part
so
of
much,
you all.
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Dandavat pranams
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji. Wonderful class, wonderful explanation,
Thank
Mataji. Thank you so much. Dandavat
Thank
Pranam.
you.
Dandavat Pranams Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji. So shall we end the meeting?